Hey team, leaders listen first. So what do we mean by this? Well, it's a new school year, new ideas, new thinking, new term. There's energy and ideas to burn and things to get moving. And we all say, well, let's get into it and get things rolling or not. Impactful leadership goes beyond knowing what we have to do, goes much further than having a toolkit of strategies, resources, and initiatives. It is so much bigger than that. Relying on initiatives, bringing in new thinking, and coming in with a bang may have a short term impact, but if you are going for the long term win, deep learning, and you want to take the team with you, go a little bit further than this. In short, put as much time into your how as you do the what. Just like in the classroom, we have those teachers who plan great content and know what a standard or an outcome means. Excellent knowledge, excellent tasks, and limited thought into how students will learn, engage with, process, and own the learning. The outcome of all of this are lessons that fail. Lessons that come crashing down as students get lost and disengage. Lessons that become tell and sit and listen fests, wait to be told, and wait for content knowledge driven assessment. The same thing happens in leadership. We get all knowing about what needs to be done, by when, and start driving it through. It's exciting, but not necessarily the wisest of moves. Let's look at this. Number one, do you know enough about current practice? Have you observed it? Have you listened to the conversations around it? People around you are wise. They have experience and they've experienced it. Have you analysed the data? 3 data points is the rule for assessment, and something similar goes here. Do you know the history and why things are like they are? Have you asked what works and what doesn't? Have you asked what we need to do, what we need to keep doing, stop doing, and start doing? These very actions will bring the team with you and probably give you the strategic data and plan of where to go next. Listen deeply. Number 2, time. Where can you make the small wins? And what needs more strategy? Who needs a little more voice or a little more space and time? Who can go faster? Don't fall into the trap of the rush. Don't rush it, even when you are desperate to. You might get there in the short term, but even in the tightest of turnaround timeframes, take the team with you. Let them stop and speak up. Ask the questions they need and let them clarify. Lead them to clarity. Listen. Number 3, model with 1 or 2. Run the trial. Don't be afraid to try, to experiment, and then to build the team from the refined model. Build capacity. Give them the voice to feedback and to critique, and build your coalition. Number 4, don't impose the change without listening first. Leadership is not about imposing your thinking, your ideas, or telling people what to do. It is, in fact, not about change. Rather, it should be about improvement. Unless you are all starting together on day one, different learning has happened over time, and people have their own starting points. Pulling the improvements together start from listening and understanding. Don't fall into the trap of assuming that you know what has happened and assuming as everyone is in the same situation. Stop and ask. Listen. Number 5, ask good questions, really good questions, to learn and to understand. Go into conversations and meetings and visits to learn. Hear the challenges, needs, and the current successes. Stop to listen and to genuinely understand. Number 6, listen to meet needs. That's our job. When teams are silent, we should worry. When we genuinely listen and create the space and time to do so, people speak up and we can meet needs. Meeting needs builds confidence in our leadership, trust in cultures, and then the ability to listen and move forward moves far more quickly. Listen. Number 7, improvement and changes are not about influencing, convincing, directing, telling, persuading, or listening. It is really about listening. If you listen to the needs and then ideate together, the rest falls into place. Your team feel valued. They don't feel imposed upon. They feel less threatened. The saying, have the team weigh in to buy in, is one to take note of. The more the team are involved in deciding what needs to be improved and then how to improve it, the greater the commitment, the self-accountability, the clarity, and ultimately the focus on results. Improving practice is about listening and facilitating. It's about giving time, and the results will come. Listen for excellence.